I'm boning out on your move.
What up, everybody? I'm going to show you how to do a doorbell transformer. These are the two components you're going to need. It's pretty simple. You got a transformer plate. It's got a 1/2 inch knockout. In a pinch, you can drill out a single gang blank with a 1/2 inch hole and use it. Inadvisable, you should really use just this transformer plate. So the transformer comes with the lock ring and this little 1/2 inch connector piece here, I guess you could call it. So basically I'm going to take the front of the plate, I'm going to thread the wires through it, and then I'm going to take the lock ring, and these are pretty self-explanatory. This side goes down onto the plate. Okay, and then you just want to get it as tight as you can. You don't really want the transformer to be able to rotate after that, so if you can't get it finger tight or tight enough with your fingers, you can probably use some needle nose pliers or whatever you got on you that's going to work. Try not to scar any of the wires up when you're going to do it. Okay, now that I got this portion assembled, I'm going to rotate this and try to get a good angle on here. So I have two low voltage wires coming out above the box, and then I have this single gang that has power in it. So I'm going to start by stripping out my 14-2, which is the power to the unit itself. Then I'm going to grab 3 wire nuts, and I'm going to do the ground first. Remember, anytime you have stranded wire, get used to putting it just a little bit above the solid wire coming out of the box. It just helps better the connection we're making here. So again, I just did my ground. Now I'm going to do my neutral. Make sure that the wire is above. Try not to drop the wire nut. Again, I've trained myself for the most part to hold all my wire nuts in my hand so I don't have to keep digging in my bags. That's just a little efficiency trick I've learned. It is difficult for some people, so you know, you can always just keep going back. So once I've got this hot connection done here on the black wire, I'm going to take the wires and neatly try to fold them back into the box. This is a really tight space, so pardon my technique here. Okay, now fortunately this is an adjustable box, so I've scooted it all the way out. I might even pull it out just a little bit more. The reason being is these transformer plates come with these little stock like 632 screws, but they're extremely short. They barely protrude out of the other side. So if you don't have an adjustable box, you should just get some longer 632s, because these are not going to make it to most boxes. Like any nail-on box is usually too far inside the sheetrock. And this is kind of a added layer of challenge here because it's difficult to find the screw holes. And now the problem I'm running into right now, this low voltage wire got stubbed out really close to the box, and this I think it's 18-2 wire, I can't remember, but it's low voltage wire anyways, and any wire for that matter. You don't want it to get crushed in between this metal plate. The edges are extremely sharp, so you do need to make sure that it's in a gap above the box so that it's not going to sever them. Okay, now that I got the transformer plate tight, get this one a little bit more tight. Man, these adjustable boxes sometimes don't work out as well as you would think that they should. So I'm going to take each one of these. Remember, I have 2 of these low voltage wires, and anytime you see these wires tangled up, you want to just take the time to try to make them look nice again. Now I'm sure they have some special tool that you can strip the jacket off this, but I'm going to just, and in fact I'm going to go ahead, if you don't have a lot of wire, you should get used to never clipping wire. You should put it back in the wall just in the future case that someone puts a new doorbell on and the wires are damaged, so they need an extra length of wire. I've noticed that most of us run a ton of sensor wire when we run it. Like, see, I'm able to pull more out of the wall. So if there is that much, don't just clip it off. Go ahead and try to stuff it back into the wall. That it's a big game changer. And you know, in 20 years when someone replaces the doorbell, they'll inadvertently thank you for having the extra wire there. So yeah, I just lightly, very lightly touched the jacket with my box cutter. And I'm gonna hold this and pull the jacket off. And then some of the wire, not all of it, but this specific wire comes with this string. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off right at the end of the jacket where I stripped it out. Okay, so we are left with 4 conductors. There's 2 whites and 2 reds. Some companies will run like this other version of this wire that has like 6 sets of colors. But basically all you need to know is you need 2 colors. So now that I carry my strippers on me that have multiple sizes, I'm going to use this 18. Okay, so this is 18. No, this is 20. This is 20 gauge wire. So I'm going to strip each one of these out. And then once I get it stripped out, I'll explain the tricky part. Now, I'm not going to explain how a doorbell works or how any of this power transfers. I'm simply explaining the installation of it. But you're left with these 2 colors, like I said. So now, whatever 2 colors you use, you want to take the light colors. So in this instance, I'm going to go with white. I'm going to take the 2 whites and I'm going to take these. They're very small, so preferably, you know, the lights usually come with those orange wire nuts. If you can manage to save one of those, I would use those. It works a lot better for this very small conductor wire. But anyway, you can pretty much choose whichever one of these colors you want, but just remember, for the doorbell system, which involves the transformer, the chime, and the doorbell, you need to use the same 2 colors throughout. So with this, I tied the 2 whites together, and I'm going to put the 2 reds on the screws. I could do either variation of this. It doesn't really matter because of the way the system functions. I could have tied the reds together and took the whites and put them on the screw, but just in this instance, I'm going to take the reds and put them on the screw. But basically, if you have the 2 colors, you need to take one of the sets of colors and tie them together, and then the other set goes on the screw. And that goes the same for anywhere the 2 wires are. So some, you know, there's 3 points, and some people put the 2 full wires at the chime, some people put them at the transformer. It's a lot nicer to do at the transformer. It just turns out for a better product. But yeah, this is the situation I'm in. There's 1 wire at the push button doorbell, there's 1 wire at the chime, and there's 2 wires at the transformer. But yeah, it's kind of confusing, especially if you don't have anybody explaining it to you. If I have enough room, I try to stick this wire nut back in the wall. It's kind of unsightly. Typically these go in garages. Is this gonna fuck you up if I go in here? Oh no. Sorry, I got someone coming in here. But yeah, I'm gonna curl these with my strippers. Then I have these 2 screws. Some transformers come with 3 screws. This one has 2, so I'm going to unscrew them just a little bit, and I'm going to hook them up on the screw. There's different transformers that have variable voltages on them, so you'll have to read the instructions and the specific chime kit you're using for any kind of differences. But that's this one, and I'll show you the box in a second for this chime kit because I've seen them a lot at a couple different companies. They're the New Tone product. This chime kit. That was a doorbell chime kit, or a transformer, you know what I meant. Anyways, but yeah, if that helped you out, like, comment, subscribe, let me know. Thanks.
I'm pulling out on your move.